Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. In this one today, we're going to be ranking the top 5 scariest maps in COD Zombies. There's going to be no special criteria for this video, so without a further ado, let's get right into it. Coming into our number 5 spot, we have Zetsubou no Shima. A lot of the maps in Black Ops 3 are not that scary because of the theme for that game and not being focused around that atmosphere. Zetsubou is the one exception, however. There are many small things on this map that make it scary, like the jump scares and the music. The map is also really dark and has a mysterious vibe to it. The abandoned island portion of the map is scary in of itself, but when you enter the bunker, it doesn't get much better. There are a ton of experiments on human subjects and plants using element 115, which not only looks cool, but adds to the fear factor of this map. The mini bosses are also frightening, from the thrashers to the spiders. Every map in Black Ops 3 feels really epic and is the exact opposite of Zetsubou when it comes to the vibe and atmosphere. It was a nice change of pace from the dragons in bright areas like on Gurad Krovi and Drak. Not that they're bad by any means. It might not be the best map when it comes to mechanics, but Zetsubou killed it with the atmosphere. The only reason I can't put this map higher up on the list is because Black Ops 3's engine is really restricting when it comes to expressing a horror-like atmosphere. You have way too many mechanics to help you kill these zombies and stay safe, like Widow's Wine, the KT-4, and the Skull of Nansapwe. And the biggest part of a horror map or horror game in general is making the player feel vulnerable. So when you add all these overpowered items, it takes away from the experience of the map. What they tried to go for in Zetsubou would work really well if only there were other aspects that took the control out of the player's hands. Nonetheless, Zetsubou is still a scary map, one of the last scary maps that we've seen from Treyarch Zombies, so for that, we're going to be putting it at our number 5 spot. Moving into our number 4 spot, we have Nocturne Toad. World at War in general has a lot of scary maps, and Nocturne Toad is no exception. The theme for this game works really well with the horror aspect and unsettling nature of war. Mixed in with the bare bones experience like Nocturne Toad, it makes for a pretty terrifying map. The opening sequence is the standout feature on Noct that makes it a scary map. You have this unknown figure running at you in the distance, and when it finally reaches you, your screen turns black and you get the opening for the entire game mode. When you spawn into the map, you have no idea what's happening for the longest time since the zombies move really slow. The entire map is really quiet with faint sounds of zombies that could be heard out in the distance. When they finally reach the barriers, the sound only grows louder, but this time you can hear them breaking down the barricades as well. To add to the horror, you pretty much have nothing except a few wall weapons and a mystery box to keep you safe. The mystery box is the only thing on this map that isn't super horrifying since it lights up the otherwise dark and gloomy area. The map itself has super small corridors and rooms, which makes the player feel very claustrophobic. For people who have never played zombies before, Noct was a horrifying experience. The only reason I can't put it higher up on the list is because of how outdated it feels now. For a first-time zombies player, this map is scary because the developers utilize the fear of the unknown. You don't even know that zombies are attacking you until you're 2 minutes into the game and they're breaking down the barricades. But for returning players, you know what zombies is, and the slow-moving silent noises start to become more annoying and predictable than scary and atmospheric. Regardless of my own personal thoughts on that, this map is still scary nonetheless and is deserving of our number 4 spot. Now, moving into our number 3 spot, we have Moon. Zetsubou and Noct gave the feeling of the unknown using their map layouts and features that are mysterious to the player. Moon, on the other hand, utilizes the feeling of being alone. Space is cool, but also frightening because there is no sound. And when you put the PES on, you can get that feeling since all the sound around you is instantly gone. You have other things like the Moon Man, which is completely mysterious as the player has no idea who or what it is. The entire map has a pitch black skybox, which only adds to the feeling of being alone. The only time you get a break from the dark, gloomy areas of the map is when you're in the Biodome or on Area 51. Area 51 works completely different from the normal round-based zombies mode, where the zombies will continuously spawn non-stop. So while it does give you a break from the normal round-based zombies experience and the horror aspect of the map itself, you can't stay there long since you will quickly become overwhelmed if you do. The biodome is the most open and brightest part on the map, which takes away from the fear, but it can also be a bad spot to stay at for a long period of time since the excavators can penetrate the area. You also have the jump pads, which can easily down newer players. Overall, Moon has a lot of scary aspects, and it utilizes the fear of being alone, which not many other maps do. There are things that take away from that scary experience like the Easter egg and some certain areas outside of the map, so for that, I'm gonna be putting Moon at our number 3 spot. Coming up next at our number 2 spot, we have Verrupt from World at War. Out of all the maps that are on World at War, Verrupt is by far the scariest. There are a lot of things about this map that just give an unsettling feeling to the player. It utilizes the feeling of being alone and the fear of the unknown very well. When you spawn in with multiple players, you will get split up into different areas of the map, and in order to see each other again, you have to build points and turn on the power, which can take quite a while. I like this mechanic a lot, and I'm surprised that we haven't seen it return in any recent Treyarch title, since it adds an element of point conservation for each player and an aspect to a horror style map, since it makes the player feel alone. The map itself has a lot of tight corridors that are hard to navigate in the later rounds, which also adds an unsettling feeling to the map as a whole. Then you have the sound of patients screaming throughout the entire map, which only adds to the fear factor. Little things that you can interact with to make unsettling noises like the toilet to play the music Easter egg, or the dentist chair to play audio of patients being tortured. There's also areas around the map where you can stand underneath faucets of blood and water, which only adds to the atmosphere. Overall, everything on this map was meant to appeal towards a horror aspect. There isn't one area on this map that doesn't feel unsettling and frightening. Unfortunately, I can't put it at our number 1 spot because there's one map, in my opinion, that is scarier than Verrupt. And coming into our number 1 spot, we have Mob of the Dead. Blood of the Dead isn't as scary because of the Black Ops 4 systems, but Mob of the Dead is horrifying. It takes all the aspects from Verrupt that are scary and makes them 10 times scarier. When you spawn in, you're already dead and put into an afterlife mode, which makes everything around you very quiet. Once you revive yourself, the zombies start spawning and there's little area to move around. Every room is covered in blood and hanging bodies to give the illusion of hell on earth. There are jail cells that look abandoned and rotten everywhere. When it comes to mini-bosses, you have the Warden, which leaves smoke everywhere and is the first mini-boss in Zombies that actually communicates to the player. You also have giant hellhound heads that jump out of the wall whenever a zombie is killed near them. The big reason as to why I put this map at our number 1 spot, however, is the story. It is about a ton of mobsters who are stuck on this hellish island and are forced to repent for their sins by dying over and over again. It's the only map in Zombies that has a story that truly embodies horror. And for that, we have to put Mob of the Dead at our number 1 spot. Anyways, guys, it's going to wrap up this video for today. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, do all that. Leave your comments down below if you want to see me do any other type of content. I'm currently in New York right now as of releasing this video, so it's going to be a lot of low effort videos for the next week. Just keep that in mind. But if you guys did enjoy and you want to see more content, check down the description below for more zombie related videos. And yeah, I got nothing much else to say, so peace.